You want to get a green card through family, but let me be honest, this process can be more complicated than you think. Hi everyone, this is immigration attorney Akalan. Every week we get the same questions. Can I apply for my spouse? How long does it take? Who can apply? The biggest problem is this. People start the process without fully understanding it, and they end up making mistakes, and they end up waiting for years depending on the case. In this video, I'll try to explain what family-based immigration is, who can apply, how the process works, and the most common mistakes. Let's start from the basics. Family-based immigration is one of the most common ways to get a green card in the United States. The system works like this. A US citizen or a green card holder files a petition for a family member, right? But here's the key difference. Not everyone can sponsor everyone. If you're a US citizen, you can sponsor your spouse, child under 21, your parents, your siblings, and even your adult children. But if you're a green card holder, you can only sponsor your spouse, your unmarried children. No parents, no siblings, no married children. So that's why people first become a US citizen, then apply for their family members if they're not eligible. This is the most critical part. There are two different systems in family-based immigration. First, immediate relatives, spouse, children, and parents of US citizens. And there is no quota and the process is usually faster. Second is the family preference categories. These have annual limits and long waiting timelines. In some categories, you may wait 2 years, in others 10 years, or even longer depending on the category. So the category you apply under changes everything. So the strategy matters from the beginning. The process generally works like this. Step 1. Form I-130 is filed to prove the family relationship. Step 2, you wait for a visa number if required. And step 3, the case goes to the National Visa Center, NVC, documents are uploaded, fees are paid. And step 4, consulate interview, or if you're in the United States, this could have been, the adjustment of status process. So the process may look linear, but delays happen at every step. So note here, if you're in the United States in lawful status and you are an immediate relative of a US citizen or your priority date is current, you can usually apply for adjustment of status without leaving the country. There is one very critical issue in this process. The sponsor must show sufficient income. The government is basically asking, can this person financially support the family member they're bringing in? And there's a threshold. Federal poverty guidelines, federal poverty level, the minimum income standard. Usually, you need to show at least 125% of that poverty guideline level. If you cannot meet that income requirement on your own, you will probably need a joint sponsor, a co-sponsor for this petition. This is a very important point because many cases get stuck here for a very long time. Here are the most common mistakes I see in family-based cases. Applying on the wrong category, submitting incomplete documents, biggest mistake. Not updating your address, not following up on the case, providing inconsistent or incorrect information. But the most common reason for denial, mistakes in sponsorship forms and the financial documents, financial sponsorship. So let me be very clear. Some mistakes don't just, cause delays. They can lead to denial. And if your family member loses their status during or before the process, and if they're in the United States, this can even trigger removal proceedings for your family member. This is also an important strategy decision. If the person is outside the United States, usually consular processing works. If the person is inside the United States and eligible for adjustment of status, then you're supposed to do adjustment of status. You can do adjustment of status. So these are completely different processes, and the strategy must be set correctly from the beginning with an attorney. And let me be very clear about the timing. Family-based immigration is not fast. Some cases take 6-12 months. Others take years. If done correctly, it's one of the most reliable ways to get a green card. All right, to summarize, family-based immigration is the most common path to immigrate to the United States. But it's not simple. Right category, right strategy, right documentation. If these are not done properly, the process becomes longer and more risky. If you're considering applying and want to structure your case correctly, feel free to reach out to us. And if you found this video helpful, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.